And with you too. Michelle was born and raised in Detroit. Michelle, through her career, creative endeavors, and volunteer work, has used her strength to assist, inspire, and move people and organizations to be the best that they can be. And that's what each of our organizations strive to do each and every day. To some degree, each of us has been trained to be sensitive, become even more sensitive to the LGBT community that we are part of. Mixed with her desire to help others, she also finds her dedication in uplifting those often left on the fringe of society. Women, people of color, as well as the LGBT community. The force within Michelle is her voice. As a public speaker and activist, she has used her gift to educate, inform, and uplift diverse groups of people in a variety of arenas. She was one of the speakers at the 2017 Women's March in Ann Arbor, and returned in 2018 as the main speaker at Ann Arbor's Women's March. As a guest lecturer in the role of artist and activist at universities, various pride celebrations, and social justice forums, and with hosting her national weekly internet radio show called Collections by Michelle Brown, Michelle consistently illustrates the need. And I'd like you to hear that word, the need to build up all individuals within a community in order to strengthen the entire community. She uses her force of her words as a writer for area newspapers, including being a regular contributor to Between the Lines newspaper. And she has also written a book of poetry and a children's book. Within all the work Michelle does, at the heart is her love of helping others. She has represented organizations in progressive and LGBT collectives. Michelle developed a reintegration training program for women at risk, victims of domestic violence, homelessness, substance abuse, just to name a few, to help them and develop life skills. And while working with the nonprofit Housing Corporation, she planned and developed affordable housing projects in urban areas. She has a dedication to helping community, individuals and organizations develop, grow, and use their own and identified unique force. She has served on the board of directors of the Ruth Ellis Center, Affirmations, the National Black Justice Coalition, and Michigan Equality. She also served on the board of governors of the Human Rights Campaign and co-chaired the organization's National Diversity Committee. She served as executive director of the Cass Corridor Neighborhood Development Corporation and co-executive director with Julie Nimek of Michigan Equality prior to its merger with the Triangle Foundation some years ago. Michelle's force is also found within her deep desire to give. She has volunteered to many organizations assisting those who often go unheard in society. She is on the board of directors for several organizations, obviously, and social justice, diversity, fairness for women, youth, and people of color are areas receiving a great deal of her time and effort. In the last 10 years, Michelle has been recognized and awarded for the work she does within the community Both the National Congress of Black Women in Oakland County and the Department of Veterans Affairs recognized her in 2016, and others have awarded her for her tireless work to support, inspire, and elevate. With all of that, I would like to give you Michelle Elizabeth Brown.
And I'll tell you I'm a hugger, okay? Oh, the paper, save a tree. I'm gonna try and put this on here because I'm one of those people who use their hands. I wanna thank, first of all, Leo Romo for always being there and for being my friend. And like I tell you, when you get the call from Leo, you gotta say yes. And I wanna thank all of you for being here and the many old friends I've seen and the many new friends I've made. So Leo said, "But why don't you MC this?" He said, "But can you talk for about 15 minutes? I said, "I don't know. I'm driving up from Southfield. Let me give you 7 to 10. Fair?" Yeah. So, I remember being told as a child that sticks and stones can break your bones, but names can never hurt you. There was even that snappy retort, "I'm rubber and you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off of me and sticks to you." The message being that somehow by being the better person, just holding your head up high or turning the other cheek would somehow make things all right. Words hurt and can cut deeper than any sword, leaving scars fostering feelings of hatred, bigotry, insecurities, and self-loathing that can last generations. We know this is true. We must be more than the better person. We have to be the smarter person. Since 2016, we've seen a plethora of words and actions that have us not just wondering what's next, but how bad will things get? And more importantly, how will we recover to get back on that high ground that for 8 years held such great promise for our community? We can't all pack up our toys and move to Canada or stay in our beds with our heads covered up, hoping it will all just be a bad dream, while sending up hopes and prayers that sanity will somehow prevail. Each day, we have to go to work and interact with people who feel free to say whatever they want, and go home to watch this train wreck unfold on the daily news. One of the most frequent questions I have heard or been asked is, how do we talk to each other when so much hatred has been spewed, so many lies told? So much has been said that it's easy to demonize those who openly support the actions of the current administration. But now is not the time to be silent, to be fearful, to go back in the closet, or to give up on building bridges and alliances. Now, more than ever, it's time to be visible, to be vocal, and to create change. We exist. We persist. And when our equality and the safety of our families and community is threatened, we will resist. So, how do we do this? By being visible. Not just during Pride at the clubs or in other spaces that we feel are safe, but every day and everywhere. At our jobs, where we shop, at community meetings, where we worship, at our schools and universities, and in our neighborhoods, even if it's over the fence in our backyards. When you hear hate speech or misinformation, set the record straight and be out. Not just about LGBTQ issues, but about issues that matter to you. Don't let politicians pigeonhole us or write our narrative. We want protection in the workplace, security for our families. Our fight for equality is far from over, but we also want safe schools, good roads, better government, a clean environment, peace, and all the things that so many others in this country want. We must stand boldly in the crosshairs of our intersectionality and create change. And we create change by amplifying our voices, marching in solidarity with women, because when they say, "Me too," it means us too. Because we are also victims of abuse, harassment, and we're survivors. We create change by amplifying our voices, by marching in solidarity with immigrants. Because LGBTQ immigrants seek refuge, asylum from persecution, even death, and seek the promise of freedom this country was founded on. Recreate change by amplifying our voices, by standing in solidarity with Black Lives Matters and Trans Lives Matters, because all of our lives matter. Recreate change by investing in our LGBTQ community, supporting our organizations. We have LGBTQ businesses and businesses that support equality. Let's keep our money in our community and with businesses and organizations that support our shared values. And we must create change in our municipalities, in our counties, in our state, and in our country by showing up, not just at the big elections, but at every election. We must make a change. Elect fair-minded officials to restore a government by, for, and of the people, from the schoolhouse to the White House. Yeah. Our vote counts. Every vote counts. And we have to bring every vote, LGBTQIA+, and our allies, to the polls for each and every election. We must turn out our base. The individuals, organizations, and businesses we honor tonight are living between the lines. They are standing boldly in the crosshairs of their intersectionality, and they are creating change. Now is not the time to be silent, to be fearful, to go back in the closet, or to give up. It's time to be visible, to be vocal, and to create change. So let's show tonight's honorees a lot of love. Let's go out and be great. And like each of the individuals and organizations that we are honoring tonight, let's go out and do some amazing things. and may the force be with you. Well.